had an opportunity to speak on a kind of crypto DeFi related podcast, and they asked me the question, like, why isn't this DeFi thing like taking off in terms of, hundreds of billions or trillions of dollars coming into DeFi, if DeFi is so much better than, the traditional bank? If decentralized finance is so much better than centralized finance, why isn't it taking off and going mainstream or, reaching kind of Main Street, so to speak? And I think that the DeFi in its current form isn't set up for the average investor. It just simply isn't. You have to be sophisticated. You have to know about crypto and DeFi. You have to know about wallets. You have to know about security. And I think the traditional investor, even the idea that their funds could go to zero if they send it to the wrong wallet, the wrong address, or they get hacked, or, all the ways that if you're not educated, you can lose money. It's simply not there yet. I think we're on the frontier of it. I think that the investors that are truly investors, I'm not talking the gamblers, most are gambling. Like 90% of people are losing the DeFi game. They're just exit liquidity for the actual savvy investor. But the savvy investor, those who are thinking long-term, they're not gambling. People ask me like, I don't think DeFi works. I'm like, well, there wouldn't be people putting billions and billions and billions of dollars of liquidity at risk if it wasn't profitable. I just want to be clear on that. I know guys with millions of dollars in DeFi, and they're very savvy investors. They're actually selling millions of dollars of real estate to move it into DeFi. It works, or it wouldn't exist. That said, it's still not for the average everyday investor. We still have a bit to go. I do believe in regulation, and I think we do need a little more regulation. I do think we need more accountability to the people who build a lot of the project and the infrastructure. We do need less barrier of entry for actually providing liquidity, more transparency when doing so. And I think we're probably a year or two, maybe 3 years away from that. So right now, most of the players in the game are people like you and me. Like we're not an average investor. We most of us live and breathe DeFi. We really understand it. We're kind of like we're kind of like first in this space. It's still like back in the day, early internet days. It's like very few people were using the internet. But the people that were using it were diehards. They were building a lot. And that excites me. I'm like, we get an opportunity to be this early and be investors this early. Just wait until this is accessible to where, you're zapping over stablecoin to your neighbor and they're using an app and they're collecting it and, transferring it into their bank, wham, bam, done. Just wait until it's that seamless where people are tapping phones and exchanging cryptos and there's a layer of security built into it. I am excited for that. And I think that's where DeFi, that's where everyone will be talking about it, not just the minority. We're in a very small market, and there's not many people. You go out on the street and ask most people if they know what DeFi is, they're going to say no. If you ask them what crypto is, they're going to say, oh yeah, I kind of heard of it, but I wish I knew more about it. Or, oh, I just heard it's a big scam for like criminals and it's all a Ponzi, whatever. That's like most people. Sometimes we get into a bit of an echo chamber in this space because we're talking with people about crypto and DeFi all day long, but what we forget is we're like a very tiny minority of people on the planet who are using this stuff. Tiny. Just wait until 10, 15, 20, 25% of the population is all for this. We'll see TVLs and we'll see liquidity at levels that we may not even be able to fathom right now. I am excited for that, and that is why we continue to build. That's why I continue to invest. We're early. That's my time. Hope you found value in this. I'm over the 5-minute mark, so I will let you go. But with that said, we'll see you in tomorrow's episode.